This story is extraordinary, especially if it's true.
So let us go into the best evidence for finding out whether or not ancient contact has been made with our ancestors. Well, we need to start with the only surviving monument of the Seven Wonders, the Great Pyramid. People will tell you that the Great Pyramid could not possibly have been built by mankind, and that is to some extent simply not true. Our ancestors were definitely capable of building it. The really intriguing question is whether they did, and whether there is evidence within the building of the Great Pyramid of signs that they were using technology which was not commonly available to them. And the answer to that question is yes. Basically, the story of the Great Pyramid is the story of a French physicist, chemist, Joseph Davidovich. He is considered to be the father of geopolymerization. And basically, geopolymers is the following thing. The science of geopolymerization is that Davidovich was looking to natural rocks and basically realized that these were formed over a certain period of time, from days to sometimes millennia to sometimes millions of years. It's a chemical process, and so he wondered whether, if he used the same ingredients, he could use chemical processes to speed up the rock formation and basically do this in his laboratory. And so he set out to find out whether he could do that, and the answer was a positive. He managed to do so, hence why he became the father of geopolymerization. He has a record, as curriculum vitae, which is longer than most books. But a few years ago, he basically began to see that what was happening in ancient Egypt was very much on par with what he had seen in his laboratory. When Davidovich looked at the blocks of the Great Pyramid, he realized that they had not been hewn from a quarry. He realized that they were the result of geopolymerization, that they were geopolymers. And so what he did was he began to do a detailed investigation. And when he felt that he was ready to publish it, he also made the Egyptologists aware. What happened next was something of a farcical comedy, because Egyptologists basically said that they knew that what Davidovich was saying was simply not true. The Great Pyramid was not made from cement, because geopolymers in Egyptological circles are quite often mistaken for cement, and it's clearly not the case. Cement is cement, geopolymers are natural rocks, but just through a speeded up process. And so what he did was that he sent in a piece of geopolymer for chemical analysis, and the laboratories which the Egyptological circles use sent back a report saying that it was a natural rock, to which his reply was, well, that's not the case. It is a piece of rock which I created in my laboratory, and it goes to show that your analysis of my research is basically incorrect. Where it stands at the moment is that Davidovich is slowly beginning to get ahead in convincing Egyptological circles of his right. But the interesting thing is this. Davidovich is showing us that a process which was only discovered in the 1970s was also in use in the ancient Egyptian times, and then disappeared. The interesting aspect is that from ancient Egyptian times we have records which show us that they knew who was responsible for pyramid building processes. His name is Imhotep, and he really was deified by the ancient Egyptians themselves. Imhotep says that the knowledge through which he was able to construct pyramids was given to him by non-human intelligences. And so we have clear evidence to suggest that the ancient Egyptians were indeed right in saying that they were not alone, that they were guided on this process of civilization. And the Great Pyramid is just one example as to how they were guided in this process along the lines of deities, non-human intelligences helping them out.